So I'm seeing a lot of reviewers make these videos that are like top 20 favorite fragrances in my collection right now, or top 10 favorite. I have a top 7 for you guys. In today's video, I'm gonna be sharing with you guys my top 7 favorite fragrances in my collection right now. Now, the ones I wanna share with you guys are gonna be primarily fragrances that I wear or that will be worn in the summer. Seeing as it's still pretty hot here, I'm sure you can kind of guess what color these fragrances are. And well, if you can't, yeah. They are blue fragrances. These blue fragrances typically open with a citrus note, they have a mid of some sort of aquatic note, and a base of some sort of woodsy style note. And those style fragrances are generally speaking the most well received and honestly the most popular, most sold fragrances. These 7 that I have here would fall under that blanket of being a blue fragrance. Now each of these have their own special characteristics to them, making them a bit different than the others, while still falling under that coat of being a blue fragrance. These 7 just happen to be my favorites. But on that note, let's get into it. Now, number 7 on this list is going to be a fragrance that I've owned in the past that really reminds me a lot of when I used to go golfing a lot. It opens with some nice citruses, but it's followed by some green notes. For me personally, this fragrance is very appealing from start to finish. The first fragrance that I have here to share with you guys is going to be Southern Tide Blue. Not only is this one of my favorite scents in my collection, but it's also one of my favorite bottles. For one, it reminds me kind of somewhat of a flask, along with somewhat of a boat. It's meant to mimic the tying of a boat. And like I said, it opens up with a really citrusy green accord with some aquatic notes. But after about 20 minutes, that citrus and that aquatic really dials back some. And it turns into a very green fragrance. The one fragrance that this kind of reminds me of is gonna be Brooklyn by Bond No. 9. Just in the sense of that green accord, that this green nuances that are there that make it just a bit different than my like average blue fragrance. Now, for this being a pretty simple fragrance, it is rather expensive. This is not a cheaper end fragrance. This is not one that you're gonna find at a rack store. This is gonna be one that you can only buy at certain stores or the website. I believe I paid $60 for this bottle here. Again, guys, that is Southern Tide Blue. Now, number 6 on this list is gonna be one of my favorite office fragrances. It's so inoffensive and so easy to wear, it just makes it hard to dislike. It's like the definition of an easy to reach fragrance. So this opens with a really nice bright citrus, but it really dries down into much more of a woodsy fragrance. So this opens with a really nice citrus note, and it dries down to very woodsy fragrance. Not like the previous, doesn't dry down to like a green, kind of like grassy kind of accord. It really dries down into like a straight woodsy note. I think it might be cedarwood or sandalwood in the base of this. This is also one that sits really close to the skin. This by no means is a projection beast. Like I said, it sits really close to the skin, and the sillage or scent trail from this is very pleasant and very enjoyable. Number 6 is gonna go to Mankind Legacy by Kenneth Cole. So when I first bought this, I looked into the fragrance, and Kenneth Cole stated that he likes to make his fragrances so they are discovered and not announced. This falls into that category. Like I said, it's not gonna be a projection beast, projection monster. This is not one that's gonna hit somebody's nose that's, you know, halfway down the hallway from you. But like I said, it opens up with that really nice bright citrus and dries down to a very nice, like smooth wood note. And it lasts me 4 to 6 hours on my skin. So this makes it the lunch break. Again, y'all, that is Mankind Legacy by Kenneth Cole. And number 5 on this list is gonna be a blue fragrance all-star. Some will arguably say that this is the best blue fragrance on the market. And if the category was being inoffensive, yeah, this is probably gonna be the most inoffensive fragrance on the market, outside of wearing like Molecule 1. Number 5 is gonna go to Versace Pour Homme. Blue, crisp, and clean. It is a winner of a fragrance here, guys. If there's one on this list that I would suggest you trying out, if you have not tried any of these out yet, this would be the one. And it can be found for pretty cheap. Like I said, this is like the definition of a clean fragrance. This is one that's gonna be very appealing to pretty much anyone that's around you. It's basically the scent of getting fresh out of the shower. Like a strong body wash, but not quite a body wash, if that makes sense. Or a body wash with some oomph behind it, you know? That is gonna be Versace Pour Homme. Now, it kind of pains me to have number 4 at the number 4 spot, due to this being a former signature scent of mine, one that I've worn heavily over the past couple of years. But I can't have it at my number 1 anymore, or number 2, or number 3. Especially in terms of being inoffensive, because this can be an offensive fragrance. This is definitely one that will have somebody being like, hey, you're wearing too much cologne, bro. Number 4 is gonna be Dior Sauvage EDP. This opens with a blast of citrus and a blast of ambroxan. But in general, is one of the best blue fragrances on the market, if worn appropriately and not overly sprayed. And like I said, this used to be one of my signature scents. It's one that I've tapped through an entire bottle of this, and this is my second bottle of this stuff. I really do enjoy it, but it's one that I've kind of, you know, gotten over the scent of it. It's one that I can still wear and, you know, get compliments wearing it. Every time I wear it, someone says that I smell nice. But it's just so easy to wear, you know? With a dry down of vanilla, it's just a very well-rounded fragrance. But not only that, it has a magnetic cap, so it's cool. Now, number 3 on this list is gonna be my most recently acquired of these 7. It's one that is addicting to smell. It is just super easy to wear, and it's just a great fragrance. And luckily, it's very cheap as well. It happens to be the first from this line of this fragrance that I've tried, so I kind of want to branch out and try the others that are in this line just to see if they're anything like this. But number 3 is going to go to Abercrombie & Fitch First Instinct Together. It's going to have that pineapple in the opening. It's basically going to be a pineapple like Invictus, which probably sounds pretty good to you, right? It's sweet, it's simple, it works. It is a winner for me. Again, guys, that is Abercrombie & Fitch First Instinct Together. Now these last 2 are going to be the real heavy hitters in this one. Number 2 is one of my all-time favorites. It's one that I can spray it anytime and be happy that I'm wearing it. It is one that I can honestly say that I've never regretted wearing. It's just that good to me. If I had to pick something negative to say about it, I would probably say that maybe in the high heat, the pepperiness of it might be a bit cloying. Even then, I still enjoy the scent, even when it's like hot as shit outside. Number 2 is gonna be L'Homme Ultime by YSL. And as you can tell, yeah, I like this fragrance, guys. This is the big 200 ml of this. So I mean, this is one that I can just, I love it. It's good juice. Gotta do my daily Rona check, right? Yeah, I'm good. Bright, it's peppery, it's ginger, it's grapefruit, it's so nice. And it's also discontinued, so if you want it, I hope you can find it. But it is an Eau de Parfum concentration freshie here, guys, that I am so glad to have a 200 ml size of. And again, you guys, that is L'Homme Ultime by YSL. Now, number 1 is gonna be my favorite fragrance in my entire collection right now. It's one that I wear almost every day. So it would make daily fragrance rotations pretty boring because this would be on all of them. And it just wouldn't go very well for me. It, for me, is like literally the perfect fragrance for down here in the Georgia heat. There's the cold aquatic note, there's the frozen grapefruit accord. It is just one of the best, if not the best, summer fragrance in my entire collection. But it is my favorite. It is gonna go to Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau Intense. And guys, notice one thing about fragrances that I like, I buy the big bottles of them. I don't own a lot of big bottles of certain things, but these ones that I like, yeah, I had to. And guys, I did get this from kingdomfragrances.com, so if you want to check them out, the link will be down in the description below. But like I said, guys, this is one that I can spray all day, just like Ultime. I actually have one of these that I keep in my bag for putting on after lunch. Again, guys, that is Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau Intense. But guys, that is my 7th favorite right now. And obviously it's still hot and it's still summer, so these are gonna be my favorite blues right now. But guys, I do want to hear what your favorites are right now. So if you would, comment down below and let me know. But guys, like I always say, keep it gent, love your scent, and I'll see you all next time.